Once upon a time, there was an old merchant. He lived near Naples with his son, Covanni. Covanni was very smart and skillful. He also loved birds very much. He would fill his small pouch with breadcrumbs and grains such as wheat and millet, and he would spend the whole day feeding the birds in the forest. After a while, the birds understood that Covanni would not harm them, and they began to love him. They started to perch on his hands and shoulders, to eat their food from his palms, and to sing joyful songs to him. As time passed, Covanni learned the language of the birds. One day, Covanni's father was going on a long journey. He took his son with him. On the fourth day of their journey, while the father and son were looking at the sea from the deck, two seagulls landed next to them. The seagulls were crying loudly. Covanni listened to them with great interest. His father became curious. "What are these seagulls saying?" The boy shrugged and did not want to speak, but after his father insisted, he finally told him what he heard. "These chatty birds are talking nonsense, father. They say that very soon luck will smile upon me. They even say that you will come and pour water on my hands, and mother will hold a towel for me to dry." The father became very angry. He pushed his son harshly. Because the child did not expect such a thing, and because the ship was already rocking from side to side under the waves, the boy fell into the sea. Since the sea was very rough, they could not find him. But after a while, another ship passed by. They saw the boy struggling to stay above the wild waves and rescued him. The owner of the ship was sailing to a distant land. There he gave the boy into the service of the king. In those days, the king was very sorrowful. 3 big black ravens had not left the king's side for a long time. No matter what the guards did, they could not chase the ravens away, nor could they save the king from their caw-caw sounds. The ravens would not let the king rest even at night. They did not leave the head of his bed for a moment. Covanni began to talk with the ravens. He asked them why they would not let the king rest. It turned out that the ravens wanted the king to act as their judge. All 3 wanted to be the king of the ravens, but they could not decide who should be chosen. The raven chosen by the king would become the king of the raven world. Covanni explained this to the king. When the king understood what the ravens wanted, he became very happy. His joy for life returned. He chose the oldest raven as the king of the ravens, and the ravens flew far away to their own land. The king gave Covanni not only half of his kingdom, but also his only daughter. Since the king was already old and had no other children, he left his whole kingdom to Covanni. Covanni was a very kind-hearted king. He helped everyone and fed the poor. One day, 2 old people from distant lands came to his palace. Covanni recognized them immediately. They were his own mother and father. But the elderly couple never imagined that this mighty king could be their Covanni. The king invited them to dinner. While he was washing his hands before the meal, the old man came to him and poured water over his hands. The old woman held out a towel for him to dry. Covanni could no longer hide the joy growing inside him. Filled with happiness, he threw himself into the arms of his mother and father. When his parents learned that the king was their own child, they wept with joy. From that day on, Covanni lived with his mother and father. Whenever they had time, they listened to the birds. They always waited eagerly for the stories the birds told, stories about worlds they did not know.